What is the strongest wood joint ever created? Woodworkers have debated this question for generations. Some swear by the mortise and tenon. Others defend the dovetail. Some believe modern joinery methods outperform traditional ones. But today, we're not relying on opinions. We're testing them. Because one of these joints is often called the strongest wood joint in the world. And today, we're going to find out if it deserves that reputation. Not with theories. Not with internet arguments. With real-world destructive testing. The goal is simple. Build the joint. Stress the joint. And keep increasing the force until something fails. The question isn't whether it will break. Everything eventually breaks. The question is, what breaks first? The joint? The glue? Or the wood itself? And trust me, the answer surprised me. Before we start testing, let's talk about the joint itself. This particular joint has earned legendary status among woodworkers. It's been used in furniture, architecture, timber framing, and some of the strongest wooden structures ever built. Its reputation comes from one simple claim. When properly made, the joint can be stronger than the wood around it. That's a bold claim. And today we're putting it to the test. To keep things fair, every piece was made from the same species of wood. The same dimensions. The same moisture content. And the same glue. The only thing we're testing is the joint itself. Now, if you've never seen this joint before, it doesn't look particularly impressive. In fact, compared to some decorative joints, it actually looks pretty simple. But strength isn't always visible. Some of the strongest engineering solutions look surprisingly ordinary. And that's exactly why this test is so interesting. The first step was building the joint as accurately as possible. Because a poorly executed joint tells us nothing. Precision matters. Tight fit matters. Alignment matters. Every detail affects the final result. After cutting the components and fitting everything together, I could already feel why this design has survived for centuries. The amount of mechanical strength built into the geometry is impressive. Even before glue entered the equation. Once the glue up was complete, the waiting began. Because no matter how strong a joint appears, testing it too early would ruin the experiment. After the glue fully cured, it was finally time for the moment we'd been waiting for. The strength test. At first, the force was applied gradually. Nothing happened. The joint didn't move. No cracks. No sounds. No warning signs. So we increased the load. Still nothing. And honestly, this was already becoming interesting. Because several joints I've tested in the past would have shown weakness by now. This one seemed completely unfazed. More force. Still holding. At this point, I started wondering if the reputation might actually be deserved. But then something happened. A sound. A very small sound. Not a failure. Just a warning. The kind of warning that makes every woodworker immediately stop and pay attention. Because now we knew something inside the assembly was finally under serious stress. The question was, what would fail first? The answer turned out to be completely different from what most people would expect.